Well, with the start of year 9, Deimos is here. With my pretty good amount of playtime, I'm going to show you how to play him. So, let's get my bases in track. First of all, he's an attacker. And, armed with the AK-74M, a shotgun, the same one that the SAS use, his unique pistol, and frag grenades and hard breach charges, because why not? Now let's jump back to that revolver, because it's very important to him. This revolver is probably one of the strongest weapons in this game. But screw that. Not probably, it is the strongest weapon in the game by far. At 10 meters, and maybe even potentially a little bit above that, this pistol will two-shot people that have rook armor. It does 156! And let's get something out of the way. It is satisfying to kill people with this fucking thing. And the reload is slick too. Now, to be fair, I think a lot of people are still confused about Deimos' ability, and I do not blame you. It took me a while to kind of understand the full concept behind it, but let's talk about it. Deimos is what I would classify as a duelist operator. He's an operator that can really incentivize 1v1 gunfights. However, if we dig a little bit more behind it, there's way more to look at. But let's start basic. So, how does Deimos work? He has a death mark. This death mark drone is a double-edged sword. When he activates it, it has to be on someone that's been identified on the defending team. When he activates it on that person, it'll take a couple seconds, then it'll start marking that defender's position 24/7, at least for the duration. Now, if this sounds broken, it kinda is, except that part about the double-edged sword, it doesn't just work for Deimos, it also works against him. A drone will mark his position every couple of seconds, and Deimos is forced to use the pistol. But that's not really a bad thing, because honestly I'm running around with the pistol constantly. And he gets 3 of these things. However, what's interesting is the ideas that the defenders can use. And in particular, we have to kind of do what the trailer did with Splinter Cell Zero, Sam Fisher, getting the drop on, well, Deimos. If you were being marked by Deimos' ability, the best thing you can do is coordinate with teammates. Fall back, and then have like 2 teammates go in front of you to try to lure out Deimos. One thing I find myself constantly doing as Deimos is getting this really bad tunnel vision, which I don't usually get in a game like this. For Christ's sake, I main Callie mainly, but I'm getting it with him. And it's because I know where that one person is, and I know I can get that kill. But I get intercepted usually along the way. This isn't to say that he can't deal with multiple people at the same time. His revolver makes it a very easy job. Oh yeah, that's one huge thing. When he does his mark, it doesn't actually tell his teammates, or it doesn't tell the enemies where Deimos is. It will only tell the 2 operators that are affected, Deimos and the selected defender, each other. So get learning on good callouts. The reason I put so much emphasis on this is because Deimos seems like a selfish operator, but he actually causes something really interesting to happen. When I was playing with Deimos, I was talking to my dad about it and trying to figure out his playstyle. His playstyle is making enemies overthink. There's plenty of times in Siege where you're gonna be sitting there waiting at peak, and realistically, you should just stay there. But the longer you stay there, you're gonna be just wanting to do something else. Like you feel like you should make a movement towards something else. And Deimos does this ridiculously well. So that's Deimos himself. But what about his main counters? Well, believe it or not, Deimos has really 2 main counters. One being, well, my main boy Mute. Especially because, well, it provides it to the entire team. However, if you want to play cat and mouse and reverse the rules, I'd heavily recommend Vigil. With Mute, you have to stay in that little small circle that he places with his jammer. However, with Vigil, you can kind of take the aggression to him because you move, shoot at the same time without being marked by his thing. So in the grand scheme of things, how lethal is Deimos? He's easily one of the most lethal operators been added to Siege, and personally one of my favorites. The point that they made his revolver like actually break through bunches of like walls and shit is awesome. And especially that he gets 3 of these, he feels very strong. But what's interesting is he doesn't feel overpowered. What do you guys think of Deimos? And do you think he's gonna get nerfed, buffed? What do you think? And most importantly, does this season bring you back into Siege? Because honestly for me, it kinda does.